What's good, YouTube? We are reacting to terrifying footage of killers doing their mass shootings. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to hit 300 subscribers. Will this be the video that I hit 300 subscribers from? Fuck it, bro. What the fuck is you looking at, bro? Anyways, my hair fucked up right now, you know what I'm saying? But don't worry about my hair. Just react to the video with me. Let's get into it.
Today, we look at 3 cases of cold-blooded murder where the killers were all caught on camera. First, there is this case of Keith Melvin Moses, who committed the most brutal murder only to return to the scene and kill again. Then we have the case of DeRodney E. Russell. When police pulled him over about a stolen vehicle, they found that they were facing a suspect wanted for a deadly double murder. Finally, we explore the tragic death of 3-year-old Asaya Figueroa, who was murdered by remorseless adults who became...
A 3-year-old is dying. He got 3 years to live on Earth. Like, what?
Fugitives of the law.
The Orange County Sheriff's Department has released body camera footage from the arrest of the suspect in Monday's deadly shootings in Orlando.
Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023, and police are called to Hialeah Drive in the Pine Hills area after reports of a shooting. When first responders arrived, they were greeted by the horrific sight of a woman gunned down in her own vehicle. Nathacha Augustin did not stand a chance against the crazed gunman who had taken her life. Nathacha was an innocent passenger riding in the car driven by the cousin of Moses. He offered to give Moses a ride. It was noted that Moses appeared sweaty and was acting strange as he entered the car. Then Moses pulled a gun and shot Nathacha.
See, that's what, like, it's so fucked up. You can't be nice in this world, bro. Like, her being a nice person, giving this guy a ride because he needed one, and he takes advantage of her and just kills her, bro.
Directly in the chin in an unwarranted and brutal attack. Within minutes, the scene was one of chaos, with police, medics, and reports swarming to Hialeah Drive. Police cornered off the area and began the search for clues as to what kind of monster would commit such an atrocity in broad daylight and on a seemingly innocent victim. But the answers the police would need would come much sooner than they or anyone else expected, as, like many killers throughout history, this sick and twisted maniac was about to make a shocking return to the scene. Only he was returning for more than just morbid curiosity, and what he did next stunned the community, the nation, and the world.
It's very emotional here outside of Orlando Regional Medical Center.
As Moses made his reappearance, he decided this killing spree was far from over. It did not take him long to find his next victim and turn this street into a war zone. Dylan Lyons was a bright, upcoming 24-year-old reporter who attended the scene for Spectrum.
No. See, like, the thing about being a news reporter is so dangerous because, like, say after the fact that, you know, the person that just killed some people, and then you don't know if he's going to come back or not. Like, that's so risky, bro. He just was doing his job, bro.
News. With him was his photographer, Jesse Walden.
The first shooting happening near the corner of Hialeah Street and Harrington Drive, north of Colonial and east of Hiawassee Road. Orange County deputies say they initially found a woman in her 20s shot and killed there at around 11:20 this morning. Now, later today, just after 4 this afternoon, 2 journalists were covering that earlier homicide. And that's when the sheriff's office said the suspect, Keith Melvin Moses, walked up to their unmarked car and shot both of them.
Journalism can often come with its fair share of danger, as many can get right into the heart of a crime scene, sometimes even while the crime is still happening. As they covered the story,
Literally what I just said, bro. See, it's so, that's so unfortunate.
The area was littered with police, so they would not have expected themselves to be in danger. But they could not have known just how psychopathic this killer really was.
The News 13 reporter and photographer were covering this morning's homicide on Hialeah Street. Shortly after 4 o'clock this afternoon, deputies say the 19-year-old suspect from that homicide showed up at the scene and shot the news crew.
They were both taken completely unaware. Lyons was aimed at point blank in the chest, and Walden was aimed in the groin, showing just how crazed this suspect was, inflicting untold pain and suffering on several innocent people. Lyons came off worse from the attack.
They were both in or near the vehicle, a reporter and a photographer. And unfortunately, one has passed.
But Moses had not yet satisfied his bloodlust, and his next target could be anyone. According to reports, Moses then casually walked down the street and up to a house with a sliding door, where he let himself in. 9-year-old Tiona Major would have had no warning as to the events that were about to transpire, as this barbaric madman opened fire on her in her very own home. Despite being shot twice in the stomach, her and her mother Brandy managed to barricade themselves in the bathroom in an effort to escape the imminent danger.
Among the lives lost are a 38-year-old woman named Natasha Augustin, 9-year-old Tiana Major, and Spectrum News 13 reporter Dylan Lyons. The little girl's mother was also shot and, according to authorities, is in the hospital. Also recovering from gunshot.
Dude, like, I just feel so bad for these families, dude. That little girl is going to grow up with no mother now and have to deal with that for the rest of her life, bro.
Wounds is photojournalist Jesse Walden. Walden says as a result of the assault, he had surgery, but that he's okay.
A house or a laptop? Which one do you think is worth more? Well, definitely not the house, because it not only costs millions.
Moses fled the house, but was a wanted man, and it did not take long before he was spotted by officers on the street.
He was detained and arrested near that area right after the two shootings. Yeah, very good description was given out. Deputies located him in the exact same clothes that he was wearing during the shootings.
Body cam footage from the arresting officers showed how they spotted and apprehended their suspect, who gave very little fight. But these brave officers were taking no chances, and they made sure this violent killer wasn't going anywhere until backup arrived. These officers would have known exactly what this madman was capable of.
19-year-old Keith Melvin Moses is suspected of shooting 5 people in the Pine Hills area of Central Florida, killing 3 of them.
After his short but brutal killing spree, Moses was finally off the street and into the hands of the law.
I always do this, y'all. Like, if you've been watching my videos, I usually do the middle finger. So, yeah, fuck you, bro. Fuck you.
Walden wrote on Facebook, "I lost one of my best friends, Dylan." Keith Melvin Moses has been charged with first-degree murder with a firearm. He has not yet entered a plea.
In custody, he refused to cooperate and is even alleged to have pretended to be asleep. Even worse, it is reported he tried to let himself out of the police interview room once he was left alone. He is set to face his day in court and has so far amassed a long list of charges against him, as well as the 3 second-degree murder charges. He also faces charges including attempted second-degree murder, burglary, possession of a firearm, carrying a concealed weapon, and resisting arrest. The families of the victims had an emotional press conference. They spoke of the lack of support from Governor Ron DeSantis and Senator Rick Scott, and challenged the gun laws in the United States. In turn, Governor Ron DeSantis accused the Florida State Attorney Monique Worrell of failing to keep this dangerous 19-year-old off of the streets. Worrell fired back saying, "This isn't about whether or not I'm following the law. This isn't about whether or not my policies are a danger to public safety. This is about the governor wanting to control politics across the state. And quite frankly, it's dangerous because this is a democracy. It's not a dictatorship."
But the thing about this is really unprofessional with the governor and all them, because they're blaming it on each other. So that's how you know both of them are in the wrong, because this is just unprofessional. Like, why are y'all not making changes?
Over 13 charges.
Why do we have to make changes after the fact that all this shit is the same shit is happening every day, bro? There's not really big changes happening.
against him, Keith Melvin Moses will face a judge and jury, and despite his not guilty plea, let's hope he's locked away for life without the chance of parole. But as tragic and heartbreaking as these needless deaths are, our next case will show the true evil of human nature, as our next killers spend their time celebrating right after they committed murder.
You can hear them talking on the trains, you can hear them talking and celebrating, talking about the gunshots.
At around 6 p.m., November 26, 2022, and 911 dispatchers received several calls about a shooting involving several people. According to reports, an off-duty cop and security guard had encountered a group of youths over unruly behavior and also curfew violations, as there had been restrictions in place after a string of shootings in 2021. More specifically, anyone under 18 was not allowed in the station after 3 p.m. As they moved to 17th Street, something escalated the situation, and before long, the station was like a war zone. In the crossfire, several people were shot, one fatally. Speculation has led police to believe it may have been a confrontation between several shooters from two gangs that got completely out of hand. The lead investigator told an information-hungry press that the Atlanta Police Department, the city of Atlanta, we do our very best to identify suspects involved in violent crimes, and we do our job, and we're good at our job. We're doing what we do to keep the city safe.
During the train ride, they antagonized different customers. They flashed gang signs.
Take one more good look. While APD says this guy is the primary shooter, this teen also opened fire and say they believe the third shooter is among the group.
And to find the shooters who terrified the Atlanta station, they would ask the public for help.
Never in a million years would I have thought that this would be a part of my story.
Sadly, Zion Charles died from his injuries the night of the shooting. Cameron Jackson was wounded, but despite the efforts of the medical professionals, he also passed away, shocking the city of Atlanta.
A second boy has...
Why are y'all shooting kids, dude? They're your age. They look like they're my age. I'm 18, 17, 16. Like, dude, why? Just, oh my gosh, bro. Like, if y'all watching this, bro, like, stay up the streets, man. Like, stay in school, you know what I'm saying? Play sports. Just don't kill people. Don't kill innocent people, man. That little kid, bro.
Following a weekend shootout near Atlantic Station, now police are asking for the public's help.
Finding the perpetrators became even more urgent.
This has been upgraded to a double homicide as we have a 12-year-old dead and now a 15-year-old dead.
Y'all, I be feeling so bad when I hear like people my age die this early, bro. Really? A 13 or 15-year-old, bro? Why, bro? Why?
As well. Police say that the suspected shooters could be seen celebrating as they made their escape.
When police revealed the security footage of the suspects, they showed no sign of remorse for their actions, only moments before.
All smiles and handshakes, but what you don't see is their buddy Zion. APD says he was lying along 17th Street taking his last breaths. But his group, who his mom says he snuck out to meet up with.
Wait, so this little kid was supposed to be with these older guys, or like high schoolers. He's like high schoolers. The little kid was supposed to be hanging out with them. Wrong crowd, man.
With continued on.
A determined police force was defiant against such an open and violent crime. As APD Deputy Chief Charles R. Hampton Jr. told reporters, we're going to hold everyone responsible for these deaths.
Atlanta police say they're also looking for a second shooter, seen here in images wearing blue and white.
It would not take long before the police made an arrest.
Well, the teens arrested are 15 and 16 years old. They're both facing murder, aggravated assault, and gang charges.
It was determined that this was likely the result of a gang confrontation, and police believe the intended victim was Cameron Jackson, and Zion Charles was tragically caught in the cross.
A gang. Y'all are all 16, 17 and lower. Why the fuck are y'all in a fucking so-called gang, bro? And how the fuck are y'all getting guns, man? Like, they got to be getting off from like those websites, those dark websites, bro. They got to be, or they either getting it from like older guys that's on the street and they selling it.
Fire.
All the bullets were meant for Cameron. Zion took the bullet. He's deceased on the scene. And then we have the other victims that was also shot. Everything was directed to Cameron. The male in the black and the yellow hoodie, he is the main perpetrator, the main suspect.
Both boys had bright futures ahead of them, with Jackson having dreams of representing his country one day. As his boxing coach, Zahir Rahim, said, "We had dreams and goals of going to the Olympics in 2024 in Paris."
But I'm also relieved that, you know, after watching the videos that the police officers released, I'm relieved that they have these guys off the streets, that not another child will have to, a mother will have to go through this.
A week after the initial arrests, another suspect was murdered, charged with being a party to murder and aggravated assault, along with gang charges. The most surprising arrest was that of DeRodney Russell, who, as the only suspect who isn't a juvenile, he is the only one named, was arrested during a traffic stop. Police were following a stolen vehicle until it pulled into a gas station. As the driver and passenger went inside the station, the police made their move. Despite their best efforts to run, police managed to surround them and placed them both under arrest. One of those arrested was wanted for murder in a nearby county, and that suspect was DeRodney Russell. At the time of making this video, these 4 suspects are still to face a judge and jury, but let's hope when they do, they are made to serve lengthy sentences for their crimes.
Good.
But when the details of this case are finally revealed, they will chill every bone in your body.
It will not get better unless we make it better.
Join large-scale battles.
They really have to give me an ad after this man is preaching. I hate YouTube sometimes. No, I love YouTube, but like, come on with these ads, bro.
With military vehicles, the online action game War Thunder has received a major.
North Carolina, Richard Rizal Drive, September 27, 2021. A night like any other as residents are prepping for bed. At around midnight, a car drove up to one of the houses and several people got out. What happened next shocked an entire community, sending the media into a frenzy as the perpetrators fired over 150 rounds of ammunition into the house in an apparently unprovoked slaying.
Police believe some of the suspects may have been young themselves, saying the shooting has possible ties to students at 3 CMS high schools.
The group drove off, leaving chaos in their wake. Inside the scene was one of carnage, as several members of the household.
Imagine you just sleeping at night, your whole family there too, and you wake up to some fucking gunshots. 150. Oh my gosh, bro. This is a crazy world we live in, for real.
Were struck, including 3-year-old Asaya Figueroa and his older sister.
Marva's family.
That little kid, bro.
They hung orange lights on the memorial tree created for Isaiah. Orange, because that was his favorite.
This is a little baby, bro. He's like my niece age, bro. Bro. He's a little baby.
Color. Despite the best efforts of the medics, Asaya did not survive his injuries. In an effort to find those responsible, police released disturbing footage of the crime itself. The video shows every second of the brutal shooting, showing an—
Look at this, bro. What are y'all? Why are y'all shooting? Why? Why are y'all shooting at this house?
onslaught of bullets penetrating all over the house.
You can't tell me that the ones who pulled those triggers on that Tuesday night would have wanted anybody to do to their parents what they did to Asaya's parents.
Inside the house that night, Asaya's grandmother, Susan Whiteley, was about to go to sleep. After the shooting stopped, they realized that Asaya and his sister had been shot and made a frantic 911 call.
Both of them shot. Did she survive?
Whiteley told reporters, "At first, I thought I heard gunshots, but I really didn't know. But then when I heard them hitting the door, I knew someone was shooting at my house." She also described the heartbreaking moment she found Asaya, as she said, "When I went into his room, my grandson was in there, was holding him, and he said, 'Grandma, I think he's gone.' I didn't want to believe that."
There is now a memorial tree dedicated to the child. Now mothers living in this area say something must change.
I thought I was dreaming.
to be quite honest.
Marva, who asked us not to use her last name, was sleeping with her daughter in the house right next to the one where 3-year-old Isaiah Figueroa was killed on Richard Roselle Drive.
This tragedy is made all the more heartbreaking as innocent Isaiah was only weeks away from his 4th birthday. Instead of celebrating, his family could only mourn.
This is the funeral that never should have happened.
For the Bible tells me so.
The funeral for a 3-year-old who was killed as he was sleeping in bed as multiple suspects peppered his house with more than 100 bullets.
This was not the first time this community had been through such a violent ordeal, but this time the community would demand action, and fast.
Meanwhile, the Mountain Island Lake community where this happened is frightened and looking for answers.
As well as Isaiah's house, several other houses were struck by the onslaught of bullets, and the problem was more widespread.
The community continues to honor the life of 3-year-old Isaiah Figueroa. The child was killed in a shooting while he was sleeping last week. Tonight, a Stop the Violence walk happened in West Charlotte, honoring the young life and demanding an end to senseless violence.
At the time of the shooting, the problem...
How many of those walks are we gonna do for this shit to actually stop? This shit is never gonna stop. I don't like when I have my kids and the next generation on whatever. I don't think this shit's gonna stop. It's only gonna get worse, honestly.
Of gun crime was on the increase. Local police revealed that shootings in preoccupied properties, with over 661 shootings as of September 5th, 2021. That's an 11% increase from the same time in 2020.
Police tell us the city of Charlotte has now had 68 homicides in 2021. We're still shy of the 2020 record, which marked the deadliest year in 2 decades.
These sovereign statistics make finding those responsible even more important, so the community could see justice being served for the cruel death of Isaiah and all the victims of gun crime. CMPD Captain Joel McNelly would ask for information as he pleaded. Parents of kids at these high schools, what we need from you is, we need you to be as outraged as we are about this. These are people that your kids are around, and we need your help. You should know whether or not your children were home the last few nights. If your children were not at home the last few nights, overnight, we need to know that. With the help of a vigilant public, an arrest was soon made, and by a stroke of pure luck.
This is the face of the first person charged in connection to that murder.
Officers were on routine patrol when they spotted a suspicious vehicle and decided they needed to speak to the driver. As they tried to pull the vehicle over, the driver slammed his foot down and a dangerous pursuit through the streets began. Brave officers managed to end the pursuit, and the first suspect, Qua Tonio Stevens, was finally brought into custody. The suspected shooter...
That wasn't luck. That was God, man. That was God telling those officers to go check that car, man.
Was only 21 years old. His list of charges included 7 counts of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, 3 counts of shooting into an occupied dwelling, and felony flee to elude. With Stevens in custody...
Y'all see these big army guns they got, bro? And they're on the street with that shit, dude? That's insane, dude.
Other arrests soon followed.
That tragic shooting happened last week. There have been 2 arrests in the case, but still the community is demanding answers for this senseless violence.
Detectives are asking for help locating this young man here, 21-year-old Caleb Lawrence. He's considered armed and dangerous, and he's actually the 3rd suspect in this case. 2 other 21-year-olds have already been arrested.
The mother of one of the suspects spoke out as he faced his day in court. As she said to the family of Isaiah, "I promise you, I apologize to the family. My son cried. He apologized because he didn't do it. That's not him at all. I promise you that's not him." But these words would probably provide little comfort to the family of Isaiah, who continued to mourn the loss.
As Isaiah Figueroa's father took the podium, it took him a moment to speak.
My son, to know you was to know love.
Speaking to his son for the last time, every word was filled with grief.
My heart hurts for you. Appreciate y'all showing my baby boy so much love, because I don't have it, y'all. I don't have it.
The community came together in solidarity against the shooting.
I just ask that you continue to pray for Bree and the family and Angel.
Man, no father should have to go through this, bro. Lost his son, dude. 3-year-old son. His birthday was in a few weeks, and he lost his son, bro.
They are children themselves, you know, having a 3-year-old. You can't imagine the hurt and devastation that is causing them.
Very sad and an emotional day for his family, especially. Asaya only got to live on this earth for 3 years.
And everyone affected by the senseless death of Asaya paid tribute to his memory as they prayed for justice and an end to the increase in gun violence, which is...
Man, I hope y'all did enjoy this video of this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for me, and like and comment what y'all think about this whole video. Comment about any part that y'all, want to talk about. And yeah, I hope you guys did have a great day. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for me so we get 300 subscribers, maybe even more if this video, maybe go viral. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching, and peace out.